Good morning, guys. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Evita Cooks and Preps. Okay, I have a couple of quarts of the blackberry fermentation starter, or you can call these all natural drinks. One of the same. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be straining it and bottling it. This one's ready for sure. It's been going since July. But since I'm trying to make room in the refrigerator for different flavors, I figure I will pour these into the bottles. Like I said, they're ready. Hope you can see it there. Smells amazing, and you're gonna see in just a little second when I stir them what happens. Let me grab a stick real quick. And I always use a wooden stick. And look at that. Look at how active it is. It's nice and bubbly and fizzy. Wow. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain them into the bottles. You can strain the drink into another mason jar. This time I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, which is actually the way I like to do it. I'm going to be using one of these recycled swing top bottles. These happen to be sparkling rose water. Since they've already been used for a sparkling drink, they work perfectly. This is important when you recycle, whether it's a beer bottle like these right here, which I absolutely love. In fact, my friends and neighbors usually bring these to me because they know I recycle them. These are perfect because they've already used for beer, so we know they're not gonna pop. So whether you use these beer bottles or these sparkling water bottles, just make sure you use a good quality swing top bottle for this project, because we are working with a carbonated drink at this time. It's already gone through its fermentation process. So what we have here is a carbonated drink. So depending on how much sugar you use and how long it's been fermenting, it might be very active. So you want to make sure that you use a good quality bottle. You can find these bottles on Amazon, or like I said, you can recycle these beer bottles, which are great, and I use them a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the drink right into the bottle. You can use an empty mason jar if you want, but I think that this works just fine. I've been doing it this way for a very long time and it works. And it's not a bad idea to keep a damp towel nearby just in case you make a mess, because I am notorious for making a mess. So let's go ahead. And I have the bottle fitted with a funnel and a strainer, a fine mesh strainer. And if you're making vinegars or ferments, if you can find these plastic mesh strainers, they work best, but if you only have the metal, that's fine too. As long as they're stainless steel, it shouldn't react at all, but you know, it can happen. Okay, so I'm just going to very carefully pour the drink right into the bottle, making sure that I don't overfill it so I don't make a big mess. Usually 1 quart of this drink is enough to fill this bottle almost to the top. Look at that lovely color, isn't it beautiful? Okay, I think that's gonna be enough, because anytime you make carbonated drinks like this or kombucha, you always want to leave some room for carbonation. This will continue to ferment in the bottle, okay? So I'm going to leave about 2 inches from the top. Look at that beautiful color. If you want to make this a little bit more interesting, one of the things that you can do is you can add a little bit of honey or sugar in the bottle. And in a couple of days, you'll get a very fizzy drink. But if you add sugar to it, just remember that anytime you add something sweet to a ferment or a carbonated drink, it's gonna react and it's gonna make this drink super fizzy. In fact, it's gonna turn it into a soda. And we all know what can happen with carbonated drinks. Look at that, it's absolutely beautiful. This is, like I said, the blackberry drink that I made recently. It's nice and bubbly, and as it sits in the refrigerator, it could become even bubblier. Even though I didn't add additional sugar, it still continues to bubble. So the longer it stays in the refrigerator, the more active it's going to be. These drinks are the perfect probiotics. The best thing is that you made it at home. You know exactly what went into it. And what I do is I drink this at least once or twice a day with every meal if possible, and I take between 4 to 6 ounces. It just depends on the mood I'm in, but since I have a lot of them going at the same time, I always have a different flavor. And very important, I just want to mention that you can reuse the fruit depending on how old the fruit is. You just dump it back into the jar, add the sugar and the water, and you'll restart a new one. And if the fruit is a little bit too funky or old, you can add more fruit, or you can do the same thing I did on this one. Which what I did is that I ran out of the blackberries and I had some blueberries, and I added them whole right on the top. It's still bubbly and active, and it works perfectly. I'm going to be straining this one as well, except for this one. I'm going to add some of my homemade ginger cubes. Hopefully, if I don't have any mishaps and I don't forget it in the refrigerator, I can come back and show you what it looks like. So let's go ahead and strain it. I'm going to put a couple of pieces of the ginger cubes. I made these using some fresh ginger. I also made a ginger simple syrup and then shaped them into cubes. I think I'm only going to add 1 cube because ginger ferments pretty quickly as it is. So now we'll be adding ginger to a fermented drink, and I don't want these to blow up in the refrigerator, especially because I have a habit of forgetting them in the refrigerator. But let's see. And I'm definitely going to be reusing this fruit for the next one. I'm actually going to add a little bit more blueberries this time. And the beauty about these drinks is that you can make them any flavor. If you have extra apples or pineapple, whatever you have extra, peaches is delicious. My favorite, to be honest with you, is the kiwi, because as I said in that video, it tastes a little bit like champagne. So if you're curious to see just how good it is, you should give that one a try. And see, this one didn't yield as much, but it is because I have some blueberries in the mix. Oh, maybe I will get enough. Okay. And do not discard the fruit. Like I said, you can reuse it. In fact, I'm going to mix the 2 of them in the same one and just start a new one. And of course, I made a mess. Let's take care of that. Okay, let me seal it, and I labeled them 1 and 2 because I want to remember that this is the one that added sugar to it. So when I open it, I have to treat it just like you would any carbonated drink. You have to be very careful, very gentle, just like you would when you make kombucha. So you want to make sure that you don't shake it before you open it. Otherwise, you're going to have a nice little mess. But other than that, that's pretty much what you can do with these carbonated drinks. The sky is the limit when it comes to it, to be honest with you. I hope to be able to touch a little bit more in the subject. And if you guys want to see more of these fermented videos, leave a comment below the video. Like, share, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Remember that that's the easiest way to support the channel. It's also the way that you can tell YouTube that you're enjoying the content that I share with you. Friends, for more delicious drinks and fermentation projects like this one, consider subscribing to the channel, like, share, and comment for the YouTube algorithms, and activate the bell so you never miss out on any of my videos. Until next time, I'm Evita, Cooks and Preps. Cheers! You really have to try it.